I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him.
About that, yeah.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she doesn't.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
I say allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
Hold on to your seats, folks, because this one's about to get wild. We've got ourselves a huge legal drama. And trust me, you won't want to miss a second of it. Melania Trump, the former First Lady of the United States, is taking things to the courtroom in a massive defamation lawsuit. And we're not talking about some minor legal squabble either. Nope. She's suing the hosts of The View for a jaw-dropping $100 million. That's right. $100 million. This isn't just some celebrity gossip. This case could actually change how the media talks about public figures. People everywhere are already buzzing about it. So, what's going on? Let's take a closer look and break this whole thing down. What sparked the lawsuit? It all started with a recent episode of The View. The hosts were discussing Melania Trump's time as First Lady, and let's just say, they didn't exactly hold back. The conversation quickly turned into a heated critique of Melania's behavior, personality, and role in the White House. One of the hosts even implied that Melania never really wanted to be First Lady and that she wasn't happy in her marriage to Donald Trump. That's a pretty bold claim to make about someone's personal life on national television, and that wasn't even the worst of it. The women went on to discuss Melania's choices during her time in the White House. They criticized everything from how she redecorated parts of the building to her holiday traditions. One comment even suggested she didn't care about the responsibilities of being First Lady. In short, they painted a picture of someone who was cold, detached, and completely uninterested in the job she was given. Now, let's be honest, public figures get talked about all the time. But these comments really struck a nerve with Melania. She's known for being pretty private, especially compared to other people in the public eye. So hearing such personal and harsh opinions about herself, broadcasted for millions to hear, didn't sit well with her. Melania takes action. Instead of ignoring it, Melania decided to fight back. She filed a defamation lawsuit against the hosts of The View. According to her legal team, what they said wasn't just mean, it was flat-out false and seriously damaging to her reputation. This isn't just about feeling insulted. Melania is saying that these comments could hurt her image permanently. And she's not asking for a simple apology. She's going all in with this lawsuit, demanding a huge $100 million in damages. Most public figures usually stay quiet during these types.
Critics are going hard after a liberal media member for vile comments about Melania Trump. The former First Lady appears to signal her support for reproductive rights in a video out yesterday.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
And this take is pretty shocking.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out
Of situations. They might release a short statement or let their publicists do the talking. But Melania's response is different. She's making it very clear that she's not going to stand by and let people lie about her, especially not on national television. By filing this lawsuit, Melania is sending a powerful message. She's not afraid to stand up for herself, even if it means taking on one of the most popular daytime talk shows in America. The bigger picture. So why does this matter? Why is this case such a big deal? Because it's not just about Melania. This case could change the rules for how media outlets talk about celebrities, politicians, and their families. If Melania wins, we might start seeing TV hosts and reporters become much more cautious about what they say. It could shift the entire landscape of entertainment and political commentary. Think about it. Shows like The View have built their brand on sharing strong opinions and stirring up heated conversations. But if this lawsuit goes Melania's way, they, and others like them, might...
Allegedly, he was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that will come up.
We're on television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yeah.
It's like people should look at him and say, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not...
have to think twice before commenting on someone's personal life without proof. At the same time, some people are worried. They argue that lawsuits like this could limit free speech. They ask, if public figures can sue every time someone says something critical, where does that leave us? What happens to honest discussions, even if they're uncomfortable? It's a tough question. On one hand, people deserve to protect their reputations. On the other hand, we don't want to silence journalists, entertainers, or everyday folks from speaking their minds. Could there be another reason? Here's where things get even more interesting. Some people are starting to wonder, why now? Why is Melania choosing to file this lawsuit at this exact moment? You see, while all this is happening, her husband, Donald Trump, is in the spotlight. Again, for several legal and political reasons. Some are speculating that this lawsuit might be part of a larger strategy. Could Melania be using this case to draw attention back to herself and regain control of her public image? Is this a smart move to shift the media narrative at a time when her family's name is all over the news? We can't say for sure, but it's definitely something to think about. The comment that crossed the line, one of the most shocking parts of this whole thing, came when a host from The View allegedly said that Melania hated her husband and didn't want to live with him anymore. Can you imagine hearing something that personal and extreme being said about you on national television? For many people, that was the moment when the conversation went too far. These weren't...
Now you know who has been bragging all over the campaign trail about how he's the one that overturned Roe v. Wade, but apparently his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Just casual remarks. They were deep, personal, and potentially damaging to both Melania's marriage and her reputation. It's one thing to criticize someone's political views or public actions. It's another thing entirely to make assumptions about their private life without real evidence. That's where the line between opinion and harmful gossip becomes really blurry. Melania isn't wasting time. One thing that's been surprising to a lot of people is how quickly Melania responded. Most celebrities might have waited, maybe let things cool down, or let their team handle it behind the scenes. But not her. She moved fast, straight to court. And she's not looking for a quiet settlement either. By putting that massive 100 million number on the table, she's making it clear that she's serious. This isn't about grabbing attention, it's about setting a standard. She's saying, loud and clear, that if you spread false stories about her, you'd better be ready to face the consequences. A deeper issue: women, power.
Because I do want to get back to this point with the left and Melania Trump. Why can't she just be her own woman and have separate?
And she can.
And so why all that criticism? I mean, that was gross from The View. And look, The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark. That was their problem.
So why did they handle it that way?
And public scrutiny. There's also something deeper going on here. This case touches on how powerful women are treated in the media. Melania's critics often speak about her in ways that feel more personal and judgmental than how other public figures are treated, especially men. When people talk about Melania, the focus is often on her looks, her marriage, or whether she smiles enough. That kind of criticism feels different from what we usually hear about male politicians or public figures. It's part of a bigger pattern. And this lawsuit might just be Melania saying, enough is enough. And then there's this. Adding to the drama, Melania recently posted a video promoting her new memoir. In it, she spoke about individual freedom and how important it is to protect women's rights. Her comments had people talking, especially since her husband has been vocal about opposing Roe v. Wade. Now people are pointing out the contrast. While Donald brags about trying to limit reproductive rights, here's Melania taking a stand for women's freedom and choice. The timing of her message makes some wonder if she's trying to rebrand herself, maybe even distance her image from her husband's more controversial views. Could this be another step in